The Incompetent Goris Air Defense Commander. This presentation is my personal analysis of an Armenian S-300 air defense system in the province of Syunik, and how on September 13-14, 2022 was destroyed, something that nobody talks about. Red area is where the Zangezur corridor is Azerbaijan planning. It's in province of Syunik, south of Armenia. September 2022. Why did Azerbaijan launch a surprise attack on positions inside the Republic of Armenia? Most probably, killing two birds with one stone. The first bird, emboldened by the Russian losses in Ukraine, Turk-Azeri opportunists are testing Russia's response limit. September 9, parts of Kharkiv were retaken by Ukrainian forces. 10th of September, Ukrainian troops entered Kupiansk, a crucial Russian supply hub in the east. And 11th of September, Ukraine gained control of Kharkiv region, areas Moscow had taken on the first day of Putin's invasion. So 2 days later, Azerbaijan attacks Armenia. And the second bird is probably testing the international community's response with their push through Zangezur Syunik province. What will be the international stand? While the world was busy with Ukraine and Russian losses, September 13th, 5 minutes after midnight, Azerbaijan attacks Republic of Armenia along eastern border Kagharkunik, Vayotsor, Syunik region, Goris, and Rapan. I want you to pay attention to this road which comes all the way from Azerbaijan, goes through Barda, and then to Ardam, which is currently obviously in the hands of, and then goes right into Stepanakert, Shushi, Lachin corridor, Goris, and continues through Sisian, and then goes all the way to Nakhichevan. This is what is their intention. More than 10 years ago, I was a U.S. military contractor. Today, I am putting my analyst's hat. What I saw on September 13th was very frustrating. This presentation is a personal analysis of videographic evidence from UAVs or drones where an Armenian air defense commander fails to defend the skies of Armenia, even with an advanced S-300 air defense system, allowing Turk-Azeri drones to obliterate an entire battery of missiles based in Goris. Expectations? You would think after 44 days war in Gharapag, Artsakh, Armenian civilians or military will always walk with their heads towards the sky after learning the horrible consequences of defenseless skies. What does it mean? You would think after 2 years, which is a very, very long time to acquire every radar, every air defense system to avoid the repetition of 2020 undefended skies. You would think you should never have to say Ushes, Zimvor, Bush, or you are late, soldier, very late. The power of technology today. You do not have to be an American CIA agent, a Russian FSB, or even British intelligence agent to know things as they happen around the world. Technology today has empowered open source intelligence to everyone. GPS, smartphones, digital cameras, and internet provide almost instant information from all over the world. All you need is a computer, a monitor, keyboard, and internet to scan the globe with very few limitations. Oryx is a Dutch open source intelligence defense analyst website. It has reported Armenian side losses on September 14, 2022. 4 surface-to-air missiles, 3 radars, 2 unmanned aerial vehicles, and 16 vehicles. But in the news, loud explosions in Goris got my attention. I have never been to Goris myself, but September 13-14, Turk-Azeri Twitter sites started posting videos. However, without geolocation, they could be just propaganda. Geolocation refers to the use of longitude and latitude GPS technology to locate the whereabouts of a picture or a video. My presentation is focused near the town of Goris, where entire Armenian S-300 air defense system was obliterated. For over a month, I kept on seeing those drone videos in my dreams, over and over again. Frustrated, decided to put this video analysis, wishing that this humiliation never happens again in Armenia. Geolocated the air defense base. Turk-Azeri, knowing that the S-300 can track and engage Bayraktar TB2 drones, first they sent Harop, the Israeli loitering munition drone, acting like a suicide or kamikaze, which destroys the target and itself, just like the Iranian Shahid drone seen in Ukraine on the news lately. This is Goris, this is the Azeri-Armenian border, and near the village of Karahunj is where the airbase is. There are 3 components to remember. I will give you some technical backgrounds so that the drone videos will be easier for you to understand. On the Armenian side is the S-300 surface-to-air defense system. On the Turk-Azeri side, it's the Bayraktar TB2 reconnaissance and combat drone and the Harop loitering kamikaze drone. Here are the Armenian mobile S-300 transporters. They carry 4 missile launches per truck. 4 missiles per truck. Russia's S-300 is one of the top 10 best air defenses in the world. The list includes Indian, Israeli, Iranian, US, Chinese, Russian, and French-Italian air defenses. The S-300 is a surface-to-air defense system that can simultaneously track 100 targets and engage between 6 to 36 enemy aircraft or drones or ballistic missiles. This is a pretty expensive and serious air defense system. For example, in 2007, Syria acquired the same setup for $900 million. And also, a few years later, Venezuela deal was a $1 billion similar setup, like the Armenian ones, I mean. How the S-300 defense system works. First, this radar, which is called the Big Bird, it's an early warning radar, detects incoming targets and estimates point of impact. Second is the command center where the officers and the soldiers are located. The command post analyzes the data from the early warning system. And third, which is the heart of the system, is the engagement radar, which tracks the target and navigates the missiles. These are the trucks which are carrying the 4 missiles, the launchers like you saw on the streets of Yerevan. The launcher vehicle fires a missile at high altitude and another one at low altitude to make sure that it hits the target. On the left, this is a demo that demonstrates how an S-300 works in action, but this is not in Armenia, it's a demo. So the launcher had to be erected so that it can fire the missiles. The radar has to be spinning 360 degrees to monitor the skies and engage the missiles. And this is the heart of the system, and the radars always have to be spinning in order to be online. Missiles are fired. As I said, one over and one under just to meet and hit the incoming target. As I said, this system can track 100 targets as well as engage up to 36 incoming enemy targets. For people who doubt S-300 capabilities, here are some of the examples. October 1st, 2020, Armenia fired an S-300 missile back in 2020 and shut down a Bayraktar drone near Apovian. Ukraine S-300 system back in March 2022, they engaged and assisted in elimination of 2 Russian Su-25 assault aircraft, 2 helicopters, and 2 cruise missiles. Even in Las Vegas, Nellis Air Force Base, it's a U.S. Air Force Base in Vegas, is a part of United States Air Force's Air Combat Command, used for training active U.S. Air Force pilots. Basically, the S-300 is used by the Americans to train U.S. Air Force pilots how to avoid them. TB2 Bayraktar cost about $5 million apiece, and it uses 4 missiles, 2 on the right, 2 on the left. It can stay in the air for about 24 hours, 6,000 kilometer maximum range, and it holds, like here you see MAM-L, which is smart micro munition. It's about 22 kilograms, and the MAM-C lightweight micro munition, it's about 6.5 kilograms. Each one of these missiles are anywhere between $60,000 to $100,000 estimated. Again, made in Turkey. The Ukrainians, in the beginning of the war, made a Bayraktar video song in the picture on the left, hitting lots of Russian convoys, also retaking Snake Island in Black Sea. This was all possible because of the Bayraktar drones. But Russians brought S-300 batteries, as well as jamming electronic warfare equipment. They were able to hit over 14 Bayraktars, knock them down, drones, sharply limiting their superiority action in Ukraine. The manufacturer, Harop Drone, is an IAI, Israeli Aerospace Industries. This is the Harop's demonstration. Again, this is not in Armenia. It's being fired, the Harop drone. You're going to see it in a video in a second. It's testing the target. In this case, it's a boat in the sea, meaning it's a moving target, hitting the target with a pinpoint accuracy. Azerbaijan used the same Israeli-made kamikaze drones against Armenian military on September 13th and 14th, which you're going to be seeing later on. Again, this is a demo of the Harop drones. It's fired from the launcher. There you go, there's the launcher. That's the Harop drone being fired. Then the rocket takes over. It will fly to its target, loitering to see, and then a laser hair cross, which is here, is going to be directed at the back of the moving boat, and the target, the Harop, will follow that laser beam, and it will hit the back of the boat in a precise point. There you go. It will hit its target. That's how Harop, the kamikaze drone, works. Or it can target military vehicles, as you can see here. And this is where you can buy them from. Azeri President Ilham Aliyev next to a Harop drone right here. Harop loitering is a kamikaze drone with a range of 1,000 kilometers, about 620 miles. In this picture, the launching pad right here below. But when you look at this picture, if you have a close view, you will notice that it does have displays here, truck, with each truck holding 9 launchers, 1, 2, 3 horizontally and 1, 2, 3 vertically. So 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, and 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So in the back, I can see 7 trucks, each one loaded with 9 Harop kamikaze drones, totaling 63 on the trucks, plus 1 next to Aliyev. According to news media, India about 10 years ago bought 10 Harop drones for $100 million. So its estimated cost per piece is $10 million. And what we can see here, if we add them up, it's $640 million what we're looking at. A similar kamikaze drone, like the Shahid that Russia used against Ukraine, are only $20,000 each. The yellow pin, southwest of Goris town, is where the air defense base is located. We will zoom in the next picture. This is the actual base. Since I do not have live satellite feed, I am using Google Earth's May 2022 picture. But with military experienced eyes, you can identify each component, which I'm going to be doing in the next slide. command center, which will be blown with a huge firewall shortly with a video that I'm about to show. The flap lid radar is the engagement radar. This is the one that gives command to the missiles to hit the incoming enemy targets. Is the heart of the S-300 system. These are the launchers. This is in transport mode when the launchers are not erected, and here are when they're erected just before to fire. So on this base, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 launchers. That's a total of 16 missiles. I mean, we can see missiles here as well as in the storage, but the loaded devices, the launchers, are 4, each one holding 4 missiles. This radar is the low-flying target radar. This is, as I said, the flap lid radar, which is the engagement radar, which can target 36 targets at the same time. And this is the early warning radar capturing incoming enemy from about 250 kilometers away, about 160 miles away. Before I show the September 13 actual video footage, let me explain by photos side by side what you are about to see. On the left, Bayraktar drone camera after hitting the engagement radar. By Harop missile, kamikaze drone. See the 3 warehouses? Same thing here. That's how I geolocated the base. So I found this video from Azeri sites, but there's no geolocation. So that's why by looking at Google Earth map, I was able to geolocate where that base was. Another geolocation validation is where a Bayraktar crosshair targeting. This is the crosshair, and this is the flap lid radar, the heart of the S-300 system. Again, this is the Google picture. So here's the radar, and this is it from the Bayraktar crosshair. And here are the same buildings as you can see here. On the left, they are here on the Goris base. On the right is the Harop camera, which is recording its target before it hits it. Once it hits, it explodes, and there's no camera because the Harop kamikaze drone is a one-way drone. Once it hits, it explodes itself. And on the left is the destroyed engagement radar in Goris. Notice the camouflage here. It's the filet camouflage. And here it is in infrared. This is the camouflage filet here. So it's the flip lid here, and it's the flip lid here. This is the actual video as the Harop kamikaze drone hits the heart of the S-300 system in Goris. This is where I fell from my chair in frustration. Why? Because the air defense system is being attacked, and believe it or not, the radar is not on because it's not spinning, and you can see it by yourself. And it hit. Yes, you heard me right. The radar, Armenian radar, wasn't even on. This is recorded by the kamikaze drone seconds before it exploded. Let me demo the video again. There you go. The radar is not spinning. The following video, which is not in Armenia, it's only demonstrates how this radar that I'm talking with Russian soldiers, which are part of the command center. You will see the computers inside. And this is how it looks. And this is when it's spinning. The radar has to be spinning in order to scan the skies. If it's not spinning, that means the radar is not on. Here's another flip lead radar. Again, it has to scan the sky. It has to be spinning 360 degrees to see incoming enemy and engage and allow or command to the missiles to fire towards the enemy. Let me show you the non-spinning radar in Goris again. This time, all our arms in the air, because it is unbelievable that Turk-Azeri drones are over Armenian skies, and the radar that can see and engage the enemy as far as 200 kilometers or 125 miles away is not even on. The red circle in Goris radar target acquisition range. So, this is the radar here in Goris. This is what it can see around it when it spins 360 degrees. So, if enemy is attacking from Azerbaijan, it could see as far as, 125 miles away. This radar is capable of 100 air and even ground targets could be programmed. For example, a good commander in an emergency situation can fire all his missiles to previously identified enemy position if he feels his base is being threatened. Even without the engagement radar, it could be fired to ground positions, instead of just losing all his missiles to enemy attack, costing hundreds of millions of dollars. Let me explain. The yellow pin location is the Goris base in Armenia. The destroyed radar capability has a radius of 125 miles or 200 kilometers range. It's the red circle, which can monitor 100 targets at the same time and engage or fire up to 36 incoming enemy assets. Not only can reach beyond Nakhichevan, which is right here, but all the way to Igdir and Doğu in Turkey. This spot is here, Mount Ararat. On the Azeri side, it can also reach in Ganja, Barda, close to Gebele, Sabirabad. That means it can cover that radar which got bombed, it can cover almost 75%, close to 75% of Azeri land, seeing what is coming. And in the south, it can reach into Iran all the way to Tabriz, which is right here. And this is where the last border, Meghri in Armenia, is, the border with Iran. If the radar was on, it could see all this. Notice the blue rooftop on the left. And on the right, is the drone video that I'm going to show you, but because it was a night attack, this is infrared. That's why it's in gray. But you can recognize the rooftop of the building from here, and it's here and here. So you are about to see another Harop, a kamikaze drone, first hitting the command center here, command and control center, and the long-range radar as well, with a big firewall. The fireball you're going to see right now. It hit the target, and this is the fireball that is happening in Goris live video from the drones. And these are the missiles, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the heart, which are going to be hit next. See, these are the launchers, and this is the heart, which are here. You can see the sand dunes around here, the same. So I'm going to play this video again so you can see the fireball hitting the target, Goris base, in a big fireball, I'm sorry. If you still have doubts that the radar was not on, here is another validation video where the radar is not spinning. Israeli-made Harop drone hitting the umbilical cord of the engagement radar. This is where the target is, and this is where that flip is. Again, the radar, the two houses, which are right here. So this is the same geolocation. The base is being attacked, and only one soldier is seen who's going to be running and hiding here. I mean, this is a major attack, and it seems nobody was in the base. Nobody else could be seen. Here we go. You will see the soldier will run here. He's running inside, and there you go. It hit the engagement radar, this one right here. This is live video of the Bayraktar drone filming the Harop missile hitting. I'm going to play it again. There's a soldier, only one soldier you'll see is running right here. And then Harop drone hitting, and smoke is coming out. Did you notice that it wasn't spinning again? That's another proof that it's not spinning. That means that engagement radar was not on. That was September 13 at night. They were using night vision. That's why the videos were gray. But now, during daylight, color video, how freely Bayraktar drone is flying on September 14 to validate previous night's damage. See another soldier walking not aware of filming Bayraktar drone. This is a radar that should be spinning and it's not. On another one, this is the long-range radar. These are spare. See the soldier is walking there, but the Bayraktar is... I'm going to stop it here so that you can see the previous night's damage. Here's the flip radar right in the middle. This is the command center where the trucks were. It's all ruined here. Here's a launcher. Here's another launcher, which they're all burnt. They're black. This launcher has not been hit yet in this picture or in this video. And here's another launcher, which is not even erected, so it couldn't fire. It's in transport mode. And you will see it in a second being hit live. This is the other long-range radar. It's not spinning either. And there you go. That was the last missile launcher. But notice, I'm going to take it back. Notice it was hit once before, so it was already burned, but the missiles were intact. So the Turkish Azeri, the second day, September 14th, they made sure the last remainder is hit. Remember the big fireball explosion which hit here? This is the result. These are the warehouses. And the flip radar, the heart of the S-300 system, is here, taken from the ground photo. What is amazing is Twitter clash report. Only 3 days later from the attack, these pictures were posted. These pictures have been taken. Somebody took these pictures from on the base, being on the base in Goris. But I ran an artificial intelligence report on these photos, and there is nowhere on the internet they're posted except on Clash Report. And Clash Report is a known Turkish affiliated site. Was this base compromised? Was there a traitor on the base? I do not have the facts, but this is what the analysis shows. If these two pictures are taken from the ground and we see the flip, the one that we saw the Harop hit, and it's only published on a Turkish related site, makes you wonder. Very clear pictures from the grounds of Goris base. Who took those pictures and sent them? Many questions. We do not want commanders that always fail their military oath of allegiance. That always commanders are demotivated and bored of life. commanders that are afraid to challenge the status quo, that always say, "Chi gareli," not possible. Always blame others for their own failures. We do not want such commanders. We got 18, 20-year-old heroes. Instead, what we want with those 18, 20-year-old heroes that shut down helicopters. We got women snipers that killed enemy officers. We got legendary commanders that themselves led their way in front of their soldiers and their units, fought until the last minutes. We got heroes that immediately took charge because their officers ran away or disappeared from the war front and kept their Armenian position on the last minute. We have heroes, 3 generations of heroes. A son, a father, and a grandfather. While in Russia, we have seen military-aged men raced to exit Russia, to run away in order not to serve. But in Armenia and Artsakh, it's different. There's a big difference. Look at this map of Karabakh in yellow. 99.99% surrounded by enemy forces. Their only link is a tiny Lachin corridor road. Yet, this is the largest concentration of heroes on earth. Young and old, men and women. If you do not believe me, then look and decide for yourself. Massive crowds turn out to rally for Artsakh in October 30th, 2022. These people did not go to American, Canadian, Australian, or European embassies for exit visas. These people are here to fight for their self-determination rights. They do not want to be slaves. But you, Goris commander, whatever is your name, you failed in your military duties. Look to all these heroes who are 99.99% surrounded, yet they do not want to be slaves. Hey, Goris Air Defense Commander, you failed to protect your base. This is your base right here. These were your missiles. This is your central command. This is the umbilical cord radar, which you didn't have it on. You failed to protect your own base. You did not even activate your engagement radars. You did not even fire a single missile out of the 16 that you had on launchers. You just burnt away over $1 billion worth air defense system doing nothing. Yes, over $1 billion worth of air defense system. Resign. Let a young, passionate officer with integrity and courage take command. Go and resign. Self-determination. It is the fundamental right of people of Artsakh to shape their own lives.